Nonnatus Foundation for Freedom, Family, and Faith. Hi, I'm Anne DeSantis, Executive Director. In 2015, the Mercedarian Friars came together because they wanted to start a foundation to help families in crisis. And that's exactly what we've been doing over these years. Whether it be something to do with divorce, separation, trauma, job loss, loss of a loved one, or other adversities, we've helped so many families get through those tough times through the spiritual works of mercy. We'd love to hear from you. Please do get in touch with us for our services. They are prayer, priestly consultation, podcasts and videos, and programs and events. We look forward to hearing from you. Just go to nonnatus.org and get in touch with me. I look forward to hearing from you. God bless.
Fiat Ministry Network and Patchwork Heart Ministry present Journeys in Faith. Now, here's Anne DeSantis.
Good evening. Welcome to Journeys in Faith here on Fiat Ministry Network. It's great to be here again for another amazing show. And I am joined by the board president and my friend, Mickey Kelly of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation. Mickey, thanks for being a guest on Journeys in Faith again, coming back.
Hi, Anne. Thank you for having me. I know it's been a long time coming for sure.
That's right. And I believe you were on the show, but it was maybe a couple years ago. And so it's good to have you back again on this program where what we do is we usually host, or I usually host people where we talk about faith journeys and great things that they're doing. But we do have a particular topic for this show tonight, which we wanted to talk about a couple things. But one of those things is the work of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, which is the pastoral outreach that we make to families in crisis, and also about some very special events that we have coming up, one in particular. And so maybe we just start out, as I usually do when we talk about the foundation, is how we got started. Mickey, maybe anything that you want to share about your work as our board president?
Yes, and so I actually have been president for 3 years. I came on as we were trying to come out of the pandemic, little by little. I know many of us don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't blame him. Neither do I. So I'll leave it at that. But I did come on. There was my predecessor wasn't really open to a lot of things, but when I came on, it brought some new ideas, new energy sort of thing. I mean, there's some power when you have some young people coming in, just trying to, bring some new initiatives to the floor, get things, done here and there. And there's quite a bit of power to it. And ever since I came on, we have resurrected in-person events, especially as we were coming out of the pandemic, I like to call it. Little by little, we had in-person events, and there's been a growth. And we also brought back on the table some in-person fundraiser events, which there's one actually that we're very excited to talk about that's going to happen before the year draws to an end. I'm very excited about it as well, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But also opportunities to grow a little bit, to put our foundation on the map in person. Of course, we've done it with the men's conference. We are looking to do it also with the upcoming women's conference in October. We're even doing it little by little by also placing ads in fundraiser ad books, program books, whatever they want to call it these days. And we also have been asked to be a member organization with the Pro-Life Union of Greater Philadelphia, which we have a wonderful connection with them. And we're really looking forward to partnering with the Pro-Life Union of Greater Philadelphia for years to come. So those have been some of the things that happened the last 3 years for us, especially under my leadership.
Yes, and grateful for your leadership. And of course, you and I also collaborate in a wonderful way, in one particular way, and that's that we do podcasting. And I want to make that invitation for people who are watching this video to go to our YouTube channel and to subscribe to Fiat Nonnatus, because Mickey and I have done several podcast series, both for families in crisis and also those who are affected by divorce and separation. So just subscribe. You can also just go to our website at nonnatus.org on our podcast page, and you'll be able to see some of those links there to watch our podcast. So, but Mickey brought up a very important point, is that we do have something very particular that we want to talk to you about during the show. And that is going to be our very first annual in-person fundraising event, which we're extremely excited about. We've done a lot of fundraising in the past so that we can help more families in crisis. Most of that has been online outreach through our website. But we're going to be doing one on Sunday, December 17th, and the time will be from noon to 4 at the National Shrine of St. Rita of Cascia Center. They have a brand new center there for events, and it's right next door where the shrine is. If you've never been there before, it's in South Philadelphia, and it's run by the Augustinian Friars. So we're really happy to be working in conjunction with them, because we are founded by a religious order as well. As many of you know, we're founded by the Mercedarian order. So it's a wonderful thing that we're really doing some collaborative work, because we've done a lot of retreats at the National Shrine of St. Rita. So really grateful to them. And so what we're doing on that day, and I would love for Mickey to talk about our wonderful keynote speaker, is that we're going to start the day with a healing mass. And that will be with one of our Augustinian friars. So everyone's invited to attend, again, at 12 noon. And then at 1 o'clock starts our wonderful luncheon that we're going to have with live music and a great menu from O'Neill's Catering in the Philadelphia area. The music will be by the Joe Morales Trio, which is actually my own brother, who is a singer and songwriter in the greater Philadelphia area, and he's going to be providing our music. It is going to be that Advent season, so I'm sure that he will have a nice lineup of songs, including, you know, Christian Catholic songs, Christmas, and even some originals and other tunes. So that'll be a great thing. Good food. It is a BYOB as well. And we're just really looking forward to this, to get in person with people for this beautiful fundraising event. And to register, all you need to do is go to our website at nonnatus.org. If you just go to the drop down that says support us, you will see the in-person fundraising event. You can register. The cost is just $60 for lunch. We're there from 1 to 4. And our keynote speaker is a gentleman by the name of Pete DeMaio. He is a pro-life advocate in the Philadelphia area, husband, father. And I want to turn it over to Mickey, because Mickey knows him very well, as I do too. But Mickey has some insight on him, and he'll be talking about his own journey as a husband and father, and also how his life was affected by the pro-life movement. So Mickey, please do share whatever you want to tell us about Pete.
Sure, Anne. Well, Pete DeMaio, I think I've came to know him for like the past couple of years, actually. But every so often, when like you meet someone a year or so ago, you never know what could happen. I feel like in this life journey, you're going to meet tons of people, and you just never know what kind of an impact they're going to have, or like if they're going to be how much of a part of your life they're going to be. In the case of Pete, you know, he's a father, he's a husband, he's you know, he has like I lost count, I think maybe like 9 kids or something like that. I mean, that's pretty impressive in this day and age. I mean, everybody else is going to look at him like, you guys nuts? You know, well, I'm a big family person, so what the heck? You know? But Pete's an outstanding guy. He's the president of Pennsylvania for Human Life. So this is another member organization, I believe, under the Harlem Union Greater Philadelphia. They do excellent work. In fact, they are actually trying to build up a repertoire of speakers to go to the schools, similar to what other organizations have done over the years. But this guy here, he wants to try to bring all these groups together in order to, like, you know, to come up with a solution on bringing down the abortion numbers, particularly in Pennsylvania. And of course, if we have seen the recent numbers, the bad news is that they're still happening in Pennsylvania. They have gone up in certain places, especially now with the abortion pill, as that has been going up lately ever since the Dobbs decision that happened a year ago. But the good news is that some of the numbers at some of the facilities, which especially Philadelphia Women's Center, the largest, that's been around for even the year before the Roe decision, they usually top around 6,500 abortions annually. That took a dip. They lost like I'd say I think it was like 600-700 less than last year. But I mean, I guess God had a plan. Even the Planned Parenthood, the 12th and Locust, where the whole Brian Sims gate happened, numbers went down as well, which is a great sign to see. Unfortunately, it did go up in a couple areas, especially also in Pennsylvania. I know Western Pennsylvania saw an increase as well. But I also think too that we have to find ways to better market the pro-life message. And I know there's been a lot of collaboration. I know Pete DeMile's eager to get a lot of pro-lifers involved. And also too, like from the testimonies that I've heard from Pete, when he goes to speak, he would get countless high school students who will walk up to him and share their stories of how they were their mom was thought about abortion but changed her mind, one, or B, how it has affected them. And for Pete, he is no stranger to it at all. No stranger at all. And he has an incredible testimony, and I strongly encourage everyone, if you can, go to the event. We will also, I believe, we're also going to look to have patron ads and maybe like some program ads as well. And so even if you can't make it, you still should consider maybe sponsoring the program book. It's going to make or break this fundraiser. And what better way to end the year but breaking even, or even making profits, so we can make a lot of things happen. Because without your support, we will not be at men's conferences. We will not attend local conferences. And we also have been time after time looking to go at national events, and hopefully that will come. Even just regional events too. Like we can start out there. That's no problem. Like PA, Delaware, New Jersey, whatever it takes. The Mid-Atlantic region, whatever. But without your support, none of this is possible. And we encourage you, even reach out to businesses, because they could really make a big difference one way or another.
Yeah, well said, because we really do need to spread the word. That's one reason why we're doing this video, because we want for people to know about this event. It is way in advance. I mean, here we are in June 2023. The event is December, but you know how time does fly. So we really do need to start to get the word out. Like Mickey said, we have those opportunities for sponsorship. We also have an opportunity for nonprofits to have an exhibitor table too. And so we're hoping to spread the word. Now, Pete DeMaio is also involved with the Pro-Life Union of Greater Philadelphia. And that's another reason why we wanted to invite him to be our keynote speaker, because we're one of their member organizations. So we're warmly inviting people that are connected to that organization, or any wonderful family pro-life organizations within the Greater Philadelphia area. Welcome to join us. Again, it is a luncheon, and it is in the afternoon on a Sunday. And so we're hoping it can be a really nice family event that everybody can come out and enjoy some great food, Italian food, nonetheless, BYOB, as I said. So all you need to do is just go to our website and to register. Now, you can also send in payment if you'd rather do it that way. On our website, there's an address where you can send in your check for the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation for the $60 per person. So we're really hoping to get it out there. Please share this video with others so they can find out too. Now, we do have to take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the work of the foundation. And since the show is Journeys in Faith, we do always ask our guests a little bit about their faith journey. So Mickey will share something about himself too. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for joining us for Journeys in Faith here on Fiat Ministry Network. It's great to be here. And on this show, we have Mickey Kelly. As I said during the first half, Mickey's the board president of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, where I work as the executive director. So I'm just so blessed to have him back. It's his second time being on Journeys in Faith. And during the first half, we were talking about our wonderful fundraising event that we're excited about on Sunday, December 17th from 12 noon to 4 at the National Shrine of St. Rita of Cascia. Register at nonnatus.org. So this show is Journeys in Faith, Mickey, and you told us during the first half that you've been with us for a few years. Is there anything that you want to share with our audience about your faith journey? You and I do a lot of podcasting helping adult children of divorce. And I know that that's something that we've shared during our whole series that we did, 10-part series. So anything that you want to share about your faith journey, we'd love to hear.
Well, let's see, Anne. I think some people have heard my story. If you've not, you have to go back, back in fall 2020, 21, something like that, whenever I was first on your show, your podcast episode. But for those that don't remember, or probably the first time learning, so I actually, like Anne alluded to, like you, I am a child of divorced parents. And it has been, I would say, it is something that could have killed me, but it actually made me a little stronger, especially with like my faith. And honestly, I did have some bumps in the road. I did have mental health issues. And I also just felt like there were times like I wanted to give up, but I persevered in faith, and I'm looking to finish the race. But if there's one thing I could offer for people out there who are in the same shoes as me, divorce or separation right now, like, it's going to feel weird that there's no parents in that, like two parents in the household, or just for some reason the dad is not ruling the picture. I would just say look up to good male role models first off. The dad's out of the picture, and let's face it, there's quite a lot of homes without a dad present, for whatever reason. And don't be discouraged, first off. Secondly, just clinch to faith. Just pray. And thirdly, just keep moving forward. It's funny, 20 years ago, there was a great Disney movie that came out called Finding Nemo. And one of the famous lines from there is just keep swimming. And I think that's something we ought to be doing as well. Like, regardless of what is thrown at us, we just have to keep going. It's a long journey for sure, but you know what? It's worth it. Look at, like, every time we watch a movie, there's a beginning and the end. That's the same thing with life. Life has a beginning when you were born, and has an end when you leave this earth, when you take your final breaths, and hopefully surrounded by your family or even those that care about you. But what matters the most is the middle part. What do you do? How do you treat others? How do you live your faith? Those are some of the questions that we have to ask ourselves. And when you leave this earth, and when they offer you, they give a eulogy or something, how will they remember you? That's basically the end game here. What matters most is what comes between the beginning and the end. And that is what you do, how you do it, and who you bring along to the journey.
Beautifully stated. That reminds me of a poem, and I don't remember the author, but the poem is called The Dash. And the whole idea of the poem is it's when you look at the burial site, and when you look at someone's gravestone, and there's the date of the birth and then the date of death. And that dash in the middle represents everything in your life that's in between. And like you said, that's an important part of the way we live our daily lives every day between the time of birth and the time that we leave. So that was so well stated. And I also appreciate whenever you share your faith journey. And if you like what you just heard, that means that you probably have to listen to our podcast sometime, because Mickey and I have done so many series. We did a whole 10-part series on the saints. And we also did another one on healing, both for those affected by divorce and for adult children of divorce. And like I said, all you need to do is just go to that YouTube channel to Philly Nonnatus, and you can listen to some of those great podcasts. Because if you like what Mickey just said for his faith journey, then we talk a lot about the way, the things that we all go through, things that he's gone through, even, the saints, and also a lot of catechesis. So please do join us for that. That reminds me that I do want to spend a little bit of time talking about the work of the foundation, just for those of you who are thinking about joining us for some of the events that we just talked about, especially that fundraising event, is that we offer ongoing prayer, free priestly consultations, podcasts and videos, and as Mickey alluded to as well, a lot of events, programs and events, including some of those things like men's conferences, women's conferences, and also retreats that we've done, both in person and online. So it's really exciting, the work that we're doing, because who we help are people who are going through some kind of a trauma, whether it's something to do with divorce, separation, job loss, loss of a loved one, health crisis, all kinds of things. So we're just really grateful to be able to do the work that we're doing. Mickey, I didn't know if you wanted to share anything that you have learned just from some of the people that we have met who are going through those tough times, because I think we've learned a lot from them on how God works through their lives, haven't we? We've learned a lot about how no matter what you've gone through, God is there to help.
Yes, and honestly, I think if there's one thing that I've kind of saw that a lot of people that we've met over the years in some of the events that we've ran, I think if there's one thing that I have noticed is that they realize that I think they've noticed that they're not alone on this journey. And if there's I know you and I, we were talking to each other, and one of the things that popped up, and we were saying, and one of the things we encourage people to do is exchange numbers, just have some opportunity, to get together, beyond today. Because if there's one thing that we want to do, and let's face it, when Jesus would walk, during his 3 years of public ministry, he brought these apostles along, and of course, there were also the disciples too. Of course, you got, two different versions from Matthew and Luke and Mark and John, of course. But one thing that they all had in common was that they understand that that everyone is going to have their brokenness, and they have to understand they want healing, and they thought they were going to do it alone. But in reality, they met these people who had this similar hurts, and now they're going to walk on this journey together. And, God willing, these are going to probably be some of our best supporters, best people to come out. And eventually they're going to ask more people to come along. So it's kind of like the, pay it forward, so to speak. And some of those people that we've met, they were willing to do it. And who knows, there could be more. I mean, I would love to see an event where we could bring, this wishful thinking, but, more, more people to attend than an Eagles game or something like that. But that's wishful thinking right there. But hey, no one can do it alone. And that's something I think you and I have learned, since working together on projects like this.
Yes, well, very well said. Thank you so much. Now, as we're not quite there yet, but we're getting closer to the end of the show, I know you wanted to share with our audience about another event that's coming up in October, which I'm very honored to hear, but I figured you'd be the best person to announce what that is exactly.
Yes. So for everyone that is listening, I am pleased to announce that Anne DeSantis is going to be honored by the Philadelphia Knights of Columbus chapter as the 2023 Woman of the Year. As she is super excited about it. This is going to be held on Sunday, October 15th, Twining Hall, next to Trevo's Firehouse, Street Road, 4900 East Street Road, Trevo's, PA. Tickets are $35 or must be purchased by October 9th. And Anne will be honored along with two members of the Knights of Columbus. There'll be a Man of the Year who actually served on the state council, and I believe I introduced Anne to her before, named Ray McLaughlin. And also George Cook, who's also one of the past state deputies. He's going to receive the Past President's Award. He's held a lot of ranks over the years, and he also has been a very big committee person in the promotion of the annual Man Up Conference since the beginning. And Man Up just had its 15th annual event back in the late winter, early spring, which we were in attendance for, Anne. So if anyone can come out to the Philadelphia chapter's annual dinner honoring these three amazing people, including Anne, of course, please contact Rich Constance at 215-637-5834, or you can email him at rconstance, RKONSTANCE at AOL.com. There will be sponsorship opportunities, which will come at a later time. But once this podcast episode is uploaded, we'll be sure to include that information as well. But you're also welcome to contact Rich Constance on that matter too. And once again, please help this make a success and come on out and support Anne on this, and especially all the hard work she has done in her 7 years as the director of the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation.
Wow, Mickey, thank you so much. And when you called me, I guess it was a matter of weeks ago, to tell me this, I mean, I was absolutely shocked and so humbled and really grateful to you and to everyone for inviting me to be, to attend this event and to accept this award. So thank you so much. And everyone can reach out on the information Mickey gave. You can simply reach out also to me on my website at annedesantis.com, because I believe that I'll be able to put it on my website too, with some information there right on my own personal website. So Mickey, thank you so much for being a guest. Is there anything you want to share before we end the program?
Some of the things I could say to everyone is, continue to pray for the foundation. We'll also be praying for you. Listen to our podcast. Share them on social media too. That's always a big thing to do. If you can keep us in mind between the utility and your mortgage payment or whatever other adulting payments you have to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Even if it's just like $10, $10 a month or whatever, it's still going to go towards something. I can assure you, your donation will not be in vain. And come to our events. Share about our events, but most importantly, just be a supporter.
Amen. 100%. Thank you so much for being a guest again. And of course, it's such an honor to work with Mickey, as he being the board president, myself as executive director for this wonderful foundation. We also have to thank our wonderful Mercedarian friars. They're the people who founded the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation in 2015. So thank you to them. Learn about them at orderofmercy.org. And we will see all of you here next week on Journeys in Faith with Anne DeSantis on Fiat Ministry Network. See you then.
Journeys of Faith is a production of Fiat Ministry Network and Patchwork Heart Ministry. For more information about Journeys of Faith, email info@fiatministrynetwork.tv. And be sure to friend, follow, and like us on social media. Just search Journeys in Faith with Anne DeSantis.